Let's talk about the drama.
Yeah.
You absolutely cannot discuss this rivalry without mentioning the incident from the 1978 third-place match.
Oh, the walk-off.
The walk-off. Nigeria was awarded a 2-0 victory after the Tunisians just walked off the pitch. Now,
get ready to dive into the action with Apex Real Sports exclusive football content, bringing you closer to the game than ever before.
All right, if you're a fan of African football, you know exactly what is on the schedule tonight. Forget the rest of the AFCON group stage fixtures. This is the one. We are diving deep into the monumental clash between the Nigeria Super Eagles and the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. This isn't just a match for 3 points. This is the showdown that will define, well, honestly, the trajectory of Group B.
It's the most high-stakes group game we could have possibly asked for. And we have an incredible stack of material here detailing the history and the current tactics. You know, here on Apex Real Sports, our mission is to cut through all that noise and just deliver you the essential insights you need.
That is the mission. We're going to unpack what is probably the tightest rivalry in African football history, break down their recent form, and give you our final definitive prediction for this classic.
And it's all kicking off at 9 p.m. Nigerian time in Fez.
Exactly. The context is just everything here, isn't it?
Yep.
Two giants, two opening match winners, both coming in full of confidence.
The victor here doesn't just top the group, they send a message, a huge one, to the entire continent.
Okay, let's unpack this rivalry then, because the sheer balance in those 21 meetings, it suggests something deeper, right?
It does. That's the key psychological takeaway. I mean, across all competitions, 21 meetings, and the stats are almost perfectly level.
How level are we talking?
Tunisia leads, but only just 7 wins. Nigeria has 6 wins, and they've shared 8 draws.
Wow.
That kind of parity, you know, it's not a coincidence. It reflects generations of mutual respect and this tactical cat and mouse game. Caution is usually the name of the game early on.
And then when you narrow the scope just to the AFCON finals themselves, where the pressures just magnify like tenfold, they've met 6 times.
Yeah, and that's where Nigeria has a slight edge.
A very slight edge. 3 wins to Tunisia's 1.
Yeah.
But it's the nature of those matchups that really tells the story, isn't it?
Exactly. What's fascinating here is how that historical intensity just dictates the modern expectations for this game.
It really does. Let's talk about the drama.
Yeah.
You absolutely cannot discuss this rivalry without mentioning the incident from the 1978 third-place match.
Oh, the walk-off.
The walk-off. Nigeria was awarded a 2-0 victory after the Tunisians just walked off the pitch. Now, that is ancient history, but the feeling that this is a grudge match, it always lingers.
It absolutely sets this aggressive, intense tone for every single meeting after that. But, you know, the rivalry also delivers some spectacular football when the chains come off.
Look at the year 2000. That high-scoring 4-2 victory for Nigeria in the group stage, that is still part of the Super Eagles highlight reel DNA.
A classic.
It was chaotic, brilliant, just pure attacking football. It showed what happens when both teams just decide to go for it.
But that chaos usually gives way to something else in the knockouts, right? The psychological warfare. I mean, the back-to-back penalty shootouts in 2004 and 2006, they perfectly sum up the strategic stalemate. Tunisia goes through in 2004.
And then Nigeria gets their revenge in 2006.
Exactly. That agonizing parity, often decided by which way a goalkeeper dives, it means these games are just draining. I remember watching those, and the mental strain alone looked exhausting.
And of course, the most recent meeting, the one that's still fresh in everyone's memory, was AFCON 2021.
The one that stings for Nigeria fans.
It really does. The Super Eagles, who, let's be honest, many felt were flying high at the time, were edged out 1-0 by Tunisia in the round of 16. That was a classic Carthage Eagles performance.
It was a masterclass in how to disrupt a team that has better rhythm.
For sure.
So if you put all this history together, the lesson is pretty clear. The rivalry promises intensity, it promises drama, but history warns us that tactical discipline often trumps raw momentum in this specific matchup.
So the history screams tension, it screams caution. Does the way they started AFCON 2025 support that idea, or have their styles changed?
Well, let's look at the current form.
Yeah, both sides are brimming with confidence.
Okay, so Nigeria opened their campaign with a solid 2-1 win over Tanzania. The key takeaway there is that Nigeria immediately wanted to play vertical. Fast transitions, get the ball to their number 9.
They want to get in front early.
Exactly. Get in front, control the game from a position of power.
And Tunisia, on the other hand, they showed their resilience, which like you said, might be even more worrying for opponents.
For sure. They got a 3-1 win over Uganda, but they had to come from behind to do it.
Right, they were tested.
They were. Went down 1-0, but didn't panic at all. Showed incredible steel to absorb that pressure, neutralize the midfield, and then just hit back with clinical finishing.
That ability to turn a deficit into a comfortable win, that speaks volumes about their mentality.
It does. And what's fascinating now is the contrasting strengths they bring into this clash.
This is where we get into the tactical deep dive.
Yeah. So Nigeria's major strength is momentum, consistency. They are unbeaten in their last 7 group matches at AFCON.
7 games, that's a huge streak.
It's massive. That kind of reliability isn't just luck, it speaks to a confidence, a belief that they can score, that they can get the job done at this stage.
So if the game is open, Nigeria feels like the team with the weapons to take advantage.
Absolutely. But Tunisia is prepared for that. Their strength is tactical discipline. What we're seeing from them is a staggered 4-5-1 mid-block.
Okay, break that down.
It's designed specifically to congest the half spaces, those channels between the center back and fullback that Nigeria loves to exploit. It forces them wide.
So they're masters at just grinding out results.
That's the perfect way to put it. They will absorb pressure, wait for Nigeria to overcommit, and then launch these quick counters with their wingbacks.
So we have Nigeria's fast vertical attack versus Tunisia's structured, organized counterpunching style.
It's the ultimate battle of flow versus structure.
It really is. So what does this all mean for the final outcome? You've laid out the history, the tactics. Who is Apex Real Sports backing in this showdown?
Well, based on everything, we have to call this a truly balanced game. I think it's going to be a tactical chess match, especially for the first 60 minutes or so.
But you do give Nigeria a slight edge. Why?
We do. We give Nigeria that slight edge. It's based on 2 crucial factors: their better head-to-head record in AFCON itself, and the immense psychological advantage that 7-game unbeaten streak provides. They just know how to win these group games.
Okay, you give them the edge based on consistency, but let me just push back on that for a second.
Go for it.
History also shows Tunisia beat them in 2021 when Nigeria was flying high. Doesn't that suggest that Tunisia is the one team that knows how to disrupt Nigeria's flow no matter what their momentum is?
That's a vital point, and it's exactly why this prediction is so cautious. Tunisia will always be able to disrupt. That's their identity.
So what's the decider?
The crucial tactical observation is that this game could genuinely go either way, especially if it stays tight until the final 15 minutes.
Ah, the turning point. Why the final 15?
Because in a rivalry this intense, facing a defensive block that disciplined, Nigerian players will naturally get frustrated if the score is still 0-0.
Right.
And when fatigue kicks in, around that 75th minute, the structure might weaken just a little. And that creates the tiny gaps Nigeria needs.
And it becomes about who has the better bench.
Exactly. It becomes a test of mental fortitude and squad depth, not just who started the game better.
That makes perfect sense. It stops being about the initial plan and becomes about pressure and fresh legs.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture of the tournament, the stakes are just enormous. Both teams have 3 points. A win here basically guarantees progression.
Right, and lets you rest key players in the last group match.
Conserve that energy for the knockouts.
And a loss, especially a late one.
A loss would be a huge derailment. It puts massive pressure on you for that final group game. Momentum is so hard to build in these tournaments, and you could lose it all in one moment.
This really is the definition of a group decider.
It's going to be unmissable.
Okay, that leaves us with a final provocative thought for you, the listener, to mull over. Considering Tunisia's history of grinding out results and their tactical discipline, can Nigeria's incredible group stage momentum survive the psychological pressure if this game is still 0-0 heading into those crucial, nerve-wracking final 15 minutes?
Can the Super Eagles break down that wall before frustration leads to a fatal counterattack? That's the ultimate question.
Well, we've laid out the history, the form, and the tactics. Now it's your turn. Drop your prediction in the comments right now. We want your scoreline. Who do you think will win this epic AFCON showdown? Nigeria or Tunisia? Get involved in the conversation here on Apex Real Sports.
Yeah, let us know what you think. We love reading through all your opinions and predictions.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive and you want more high-level analysis of African football, make sure you hit like, share this with your fellow fans, and definitely subscribe to Apex Real Sports.
We're your home for the best coverage in the game.
We'll catch you next time.
Today, we're diving into the heart of the action, where every moment counts and every play is a story waiting to be told.